for the kingdom to be glorified or the kingdom to be expanded. And systems can be anything that deals with how you get work done. That could be anything that on your job. That can be anything. And so I think it's important that we understand that reconciliation does not mean it just stops at people, but it also means systems and everything that we can put our hands onto. That's reconciling at a high level. People is the first, but then let's take it further. Systems is the next. How do we make this work for the kingdom? Next slide. And so this brings me to this. As the online pastor here, I started here in 2014. 2014, there were not many churches at all doing online. And so take it a step further, there were not many black churches doing online. And so for me to start something in a culture that, one, does not do that, and to do something that's really outside of the walls was a battle in itself, but it was a good moment of just allowing God to rest in God and believe God can carry you through those things. There are many conferences that I went to, most of them in different states, where I was the only black guy, literally. And so what we decided here, based on the vision of Bishop Pierce, was that we are going to get the message out by any means necessary. So this is where we come into the message versus the method. The method is the way that we get the message out, the message being the gospel, and how we are expressing the gospel, how we are leading people to Christ, how we are discipling people. That is the message. The method is the way that we do that. There's so many methods to doing it. There's the preaching method, there is radio method, there's television method, there's now online method. There's so many methods. But here's the thing that I want you all to walk away with, knowing that no matter what method you use, the message doesn't change. So we are to be making sure that we are, you can go to the next slide, that we marry the message but date the method. That's our goal as Christians, is that I am married to the message, which is spreading the good news of Jesus Christ, but the method will change. It allows me to flow with the times, because some things that we did in 2014 we can't do in 2025. It's antiquated. Things antiquate over time, so we have to move along with time. And this is the thing about technology. Technology does not wait on anyone. Technology is ever growing, ever changing, not hour by hour, but millisecond by millisecond. So while we're even talking, there's new technology being made even right now. And so we have to be willing to adjust to it. But let me put this pin here. It doesn't mean that we get rid of everything that is not technology. Because we are a intergenerational church, we're using all types of methods. That we're using a phone tree still. We use email. We use text. We use social media. We're using all those things in order to get the message out. And we have realized that because we deal with different generations, that you have to meet the generations at where they are. I can't force an older generation to jump right into social media if that's not what they have known. I just can't. Now, what I can do is allow them the space and the freedom to say, hey, can you show me those things? But I don't have to force them to become what my age is doing. It's the freedom in that. And so I think one of the things that we need to make sure that we're walking away with when we're dealing with technology, and the reason why I wanted to start with this is because I wanted to lay a foundation of what this means for us as Christians. Technology is great, but technology is also some things that can get us in trouble. And as Christians, we have an obligation to make sure that we are spreading life. And sometimes technology can take us down the wrong rabbit hole. So I wanted to lay this foundation of reconciling systems and method and message so that we know that when we're going into the AI talk, that our foundation is that we are Christians. So we are kingdom-minded. We work by kingdom principles. That doesn't mean we always get it right, but it does mean that I have someone I'm following. I am called a Christian who is after Jesus Christ. So that means anything that I use, AI, technology-wise, or anything, I'm still housed by the principles of Jesus Christ. And so I needed to lay this foundation because I wanted us to make sure that we are clear, because some people will ask, how is AI in VBS? Well, I like these type of questions because these type of questions I can always direct you right back to Scripture. And if I wanted to go a step further, there's a Scripture that also says that we're supposed to go out to Judea and Samaria and all the farthermost places. Well, that's basically online. So Scripture's always telling us what we're supposed to be doing anyway. So I wanted to lay the foundation of this before we jumped into AI. But I want to do this. Before I go into, did anyone have questions about reconciling systems? Just want to make sure that we all on the same page as we move along. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, good question. So I'm talking about systems of communication, systems of the way that things work in, I'll give, for example, in Gifford County schools, they have systems that they use inside of like email systems or phone tree systems, those type of systems. So communication systems is more what I'm talking about. Yes, ma'am, that we are using those things for reconciling them for kingdom use is where I'm leaning at. Right? Next slide. So we're going to talk about wonders of AI. You can go to the next slide, Ms. Robin. And so the very first thing that I want us to let's give a definition for what is AI. AI is artificial intelligence. It's a technology that enables computers and machines to simulate human learning, comprehension, problem solving, decision making, creativity, and autonomy. So one of the things that I want to put a pin in right here is AI is really not new. AI has actually been around since the 1950s. That's when AI actually came into existence. But we never knew what it was because it was mostly used in higher places and higher systems within outside in the world. So they kind of started integrating it into some of the things that you do now. For instance, how many of you all are familiar with automation? Automation. Mm-hmm. Automation is, so automation is where I can set up my emails and have a series of emails go out automatically by itself. I don't have to do it manually. It automatically does that. That's AI. So they have kind of put AI under the radar to help with systems and help with jobs to better be to help with productivity and things of that nature. So AI is not new. What we are seeing now is, next slide, generative AI. This is what we're seeing. This is what you are noticing everywhere, and they're using everywhere. And generative AI is sometimes called Gen AI, refers to deep learning models that can create complex original content such as long-form text, high-quality images, realistic video, audio, and more in response to a user prompt or request. At a high level, generative models encode a simplified representation of their training data and then draw from that representation to create new work that's similar but not identical to the original data. So that is what we are currently seeing now in 2025, is this model of AI that is much, much, much more entailed and detailed in how it responds to us. As we get into the teaching, I want to teach y'all all of what they're talking about in here, so don't worry. Don't let these terms throw you for a minute. So we'll get to all that. Next slide. So what is the uses of AI? What are we using it for? We're using it for content creation. That simply just develops and enhances social media content, graphic designs, and creative elements. That's what one uses we're using it for. We're also using it for brainstorming and exploring new ideas. AI is a tool that aids in the planning process, which can become a creative team, social media content creator, or administrative assistant that is equipped to assist with ideas for projects. So the best way that I can describe this particular usage is, say that I'm in a meeting with several other people. They now have systems where they will set a computer up in your group, and the computer acts as your admin assistant and literally takes notes for you, put them in categories for you, and to allow you to be able to send those emails out to the people in the team. But then it also, based on the data that you give it, can create something for you and the team. When I say data that you create, so AI is not working off of this thing in the thin blue air. It's working off data that's been input into it. This data can be a lot of information that you and I have been doing since the 1950s. It's taking all of that, and that's how it's answering us things back or making things up. It's not just this God that is just made itself. It's actually data that we have been doing unknowingly through our information, through social media. If you got a Facebook page, you got Instagram, it's taking all of that information that it sees, and it's gathering it, and now it's building itself its own mind. It becomes a thing that really learns or teaches itself by what we give it. And so that's what you get. That's why it seems like whenever you give AI something to do, it'll spit back something back to you. It didn't just come out the air. It came from all the people in the world inputting data into it, and then it came back with some answers. That's what brainstorming ideas is, because truth be told, what this AI can do for us when we are meeting, when we are in a group of meeting with each other, I can now get the perspective of somebody who's in Australia on the same matter through AI. So it gives us a more holistic perspective, not just from our own lens. It takes us outside of ourselves and just the things that we see, and it brings in other elements to help us to be able to have a more fuller picture to better explain what we want trying to do, or to bring vision to what we're trying to do. It allows us to do that. One of the things that I learned in school, in divinity school, is there's a class that's called Christian Ethics. And in this class, they taught us learning from others. Basically, learning from others is that we don't have the full answer. Us, ourselves, our individual self, do not have the full answer to everything that we're going through or everything that we deal with. Sometimes it's always good to bring in other perspectives to help you see it from the other side. This is Christian ethics. And so they taught us that we have to learn from others so that we have a more fuller perspective. Because I can take your perspective on a thing that I'm going through in life, and then I can take your perspective on the thing that I'm going through life, mixed with my perspective, will help me see things differently. Because you've probably gone through it, and you've probably gone through it. So now I have the ability to walk through this easier. It's basically sharing testimonies at the end of the day when you boil it all down. And I've always believed that we are a link in somebody else's chain. And so AI can function like that. It becomes a link in your team's chain. It's not to replace people, it's to help the team to be more efficient. Efficiency is what we're trying to come out of with AI. Another thing is fewer human errors. Well, it's a computer. Not to say that it doesn't have any errors, but it's fewer human errors. It can reduce human errors in various ways, from guiding people through the proper steps of process to flagging potential errors before they occur, and fully automating processes without human intervention. This is especially important in industries such as healthcare, where, for example, AI-guided surgical robotic enables consistent precision. There's another thing. How many of you have heard of Grammarly? And some of you all have used Grammarly, right? Well, Grammarly is a program on the computer that you can buy, and if you're writing papers, it'll help you find errors like commas, and if you got the commas in the wrong place. Well, they've added AI to it now, and so it can now read the tone of your paper and help you to reword your paper so that it can reflect the right tone. That's AI. Now, the thing that I want to say is it doesn't mean that AI is always right. You always still have the ability to say, yeah, no, I don't want that tone. That's not what I'm looking for. So you can change it. So AI is a framework. It's not the end-all, be-all. It's a starting point for you to be able to get something accomplished. It's not the end-all, be-all. And if you ever get to that place that you're using AI like that, I would suggest that you really go back and look at the stuff that you're putting out. I have seen instances where people are using AI for their emails because it gives you quick response. But sometimes the response AI gives you, if it's not reading the prompt correctly, will send the wrong information. Then you'll send the wrong information to a person, where you may have tried to send an email because someone passed away, and you end up sending an email that says something else. So you always double check AI. Automation. We talked about automation. Automation is routines, repetitive. It's often tenuous tasks, including digital tasks such as data collection, entering, and pre-processing, and physical tasks such as warehouse stock picking and manifesting process. The automation frees to work on higher value, more creative work. I use automation for the online members. Here's how I work it. The person comes down, they get saved at the altar. Once they get saved, they scan that QR code. They fill out that form. That form comes to me. Here's the process. We didn't give them a call 24 to 48 hours. Hey, we see that you accepted Christ. We just wanted to celebrate that with you, let you know that we're praying with you, and can't wait to see what God is going to do in your life. Once that call has been made, while that call has been made, I am already putting their name in an Excel sheet with their number and their address. That Excel sheet then is uploaded into what we call it's Thinkific. It's a school platform where they are now placed into class, fresh start class, and they go online. It sends them an automatic link saying, hey, you've been registered for fresh start. You may go ahead and sign up for the class and do your class. That's one thing. Then they are simultaneously going into another email system that sends them a letter from the bishop's office saying the same thing that our call was saying. If you don't have a church, find your church, this and that, gives them all that. That's the first email. We follow that person that has been saved a whole year. So they get an email at 3 months, 6 months, 9, and 12. The 12-month email says to them, it's been a year you've been saved. We're so excited what God has done in your life. We want to send you a gift. Send us your address. And so they send the address, and we send them a gift. Automation. So your church is doing this. So now the person is not walking alone, but their church is walking with them. And the emails are very simple. The first email asks if they need prayer. And it's a little small prayer that I have wrote. And it prays with them, and then they can carry it with them. And then the next email if you need any resources, give us a call, this and that. So you're walking with the person. It's the foundation of discipleship. You don't want them to come down to the altar and that be the last thing that they know. No, now it's time to grow them. How do I grow them? Let them know that their church is walking with them and you're not walking alone. Because if any of us, all of us know that are saved, that first year that you're saved, it seems like the world turns upside down. And it seems like everything seems to come at you from every direction. And you're like, what happened? I got saved. I thought it was supposed to be a little easier than this, but it didn't. It got hard. So walking with them through this email system, I have gotten back people saying, your email came at the right time because I was so much struggling and I was about to give up. So these are the moments where we are learning as people that technology, it really aids us if you know what you're doing with it. If you're out here just reckless with it, renegade with it, then you're gonna get back what you're putting in it, and then you're gonna have people going in all different directions, and it'll cause issues. So enhance decision making. AI enables faster, more accurate prediction and reliability, data-driven decisions combined with automation. AI enables businesses to act on opportunities and respond to crises as they emerge in real time and without human intervention. And then round-the-clock availability and consistency. AI doesn't go to sleep. It's always up. It's always working. It's not God, but it's always working. So I wanted us to kind of get some type of framework of what can we use AI for. Before I move to the next, are there any questions on these or outside of these? Yes. Yeah, they're probably already integrated. So what you'll see there, those systems will probably get to a place where they're putting out way more than that. Um, so they're integrate AI. They probably already started it, and we just don't know. Remember, I talked about at the beginning that AI has been around, so it's probably already integrated in there. Um, so a lot of our systems that we're using in the marketplace are already using AI. Um, they, it's very stealth. You just have to know what you're looking for to know that it's AI. So yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes. No, it's not a weird question. Oh, hold on.
My brain is trying to figure out where is the information at, Pastor Brisbane? Is there a big old computer somewhere that's swooping all this information? Just help me for just a minute.
Yeah, so that's a good question. So that's one answer. It is in the cloud. If anybody has an iPhone, it's in the cloud. But then the other answer is, remember when I explained to you that whatever we've used on a computer, if you're just sending emails on a computer, if you put any information in, it's automatically pulling that information from those things. So AI systems are built by different companies like IBM or Microsoft, and so that's how they're pulling those things together. And then, of course, Tesla is another AI system. So that's where they're housing it. So they may have a server that is reading all this information constantly and bringing it in to update or take AI to a different model based on the data that it is bringing in. Does that help? Yes.
I know a lot of them they've been saying that, especially with young adults. They come into the house, hey Siri, hey Google, go into the room, what should I eat tonight? Hey Siri, who Google, should I do my homework tonight? They have their own AI set up. My thing is, what do you feel though with the interaction with this artificial intelligence? How is it then calculating our Christianity into it, or is it then calculating it out in more Scientology or more facts or more data that has already been existed that's in a cloud? How do we get that cloud to have a Christ-like message for individuals that they can talk with instead of having to talk to human beings and coming in the fold of the corporate structure of church? Young individuals are looking at this and like, hey, I'm going to be in my own cocoon. Tell me what I want to hear. Tell me what's easy. What are your feelings on that?
Great question. So we'll get into this after the break. So no, you good. I'm still going to answer part of it though. So there's this thing called prompts. Prompts is what you're telling it what to do. So I can tell AI what I needed to do. So to your point, if I want to tell it some Christian things, it'll go find Christian things that from data is already pulled. Now here again, here's the caveat though. You have to check it. You have to check it because remember, AI is like this. It's like a 12-year-old who has read 16 books, and those 16 books is what he believes is true. So all his answers are coming from these 16 books. Did that make sense? Yeah. So AI is just like that. It's pulling only what it's been given. So that doesn't mean that everything that it gives Christian is going to be true. That's why we got another AI, but it's not an AI, that's called the Holy Spirit. And he leads us where we need to go to be able to know how do we do scripture, how are we supposed to interpret this scripture? Is this what this scripture is saying? Because he knows the mind of God. So yeah, great. But we're going to talk more about that when we come back from the break. Yeah, let's go to next slide. So this is the part that I think most of y'all want to deal with for a moment. So I think this is going to take us right on into the break. So, all right. Words of AI. Next slide. So we've already talked about this, but we're going to talk about it. So AI is trained data. This means that it's given a certain amount of data, and based on that data that has been uploaded, it is what it deems as factual and true. AI isn't all-knowing and can be wrong based on the data. Some models even restrict how far back you can go, so that data is limited. Lastly, AI models will not align with our theological convictions. Let me read that again. Lastly, AI models will not align with our theological convictions. So please don't copy and paste any statements without checking that they align with our church beliefs. Because it goes back to what I was saying with your question. It will pull Scientology stuff. It will pull atheist stuff, because it doesn't know how to distinguish Christianity beliefs from Scientology belief. So it'll merge the two. And if you're not careful, you'll be out here teaching a Christianity that has some Scientology mixed into it. So that's, we must know that this is still a computer. It only knows what we give it. It's not out here. It's not a God. And I think that's where the world has gone astray, because they're using AI as if it's God. It's not God. It's not at all. It's just a means to assist us in what we're doing. It doesn't have all the answers at all. It only knows what you and I have given it. That's it. Next slide. What is hallucination? How many know what hallucinations mean? Yeah, we all know what that is. So AI has hallucinations. It makes up facts that are not based on truth. This means that its data and facts are created from information that has no place of origin. So we've all heard the story about somebody in the desert, and it's so hot, and they're trying to crawl to get to some water, and they start seeing a Las Vegas strip club or something. That's hallucinations. So I want to show y'all two pictures. Yes, next slide. And I just want y'all to look at the pictures for a moment. Just want you to look at the pictures for a moment. Now let me ask you this. Are the pictures normal? They are? So do y'all think the picture's normal? Do they look like two families? It does? Oh, okay. So how about this? Let's look at this family. So one, we really don't know what they're eating. It's supposed to be chicken, but it's not. And let's look at his hand here. Do you see his hand? And if you look deeper, you'll start seeing like little things that don't belong on the picture. Because it's what AI does. It cannot produce for you something without a hallucination in it. Now let's go over here. Now, this one looks so perfect, doesn't it? It doesn't. Okay. So can somebody tell me where they see a problem at? Over here? You see that? Yep. Yeah. So see, this is how tricky, this is how you can get caught up in this. Because at first glance, these pictures look fine. But it's not until you really look at it, you'll see that there's deformities, the things don't even match, The little boy has a tail over here. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So these are called hallucinations. AI cannot distinguish to make you a perfect me and you. He just can't. It's not God. So even if you ask to do an image, you have to check the image, or you may have to go back and change some stuff in your prompt. We'll get into prompts. Because something that you said to it, it didn't read it, or it was confused. Like, wait, you gave me too much in the wrong direction. I don't know what you really said, so I'm going to give you what I thought you said. And this is what you get, hallucinations. That is so good. Woo. Okay, next slide. Privacy concerns. Yes. LLMs, or large language models, are trained on data. That means the data you type into the AI tool is used to train the AI model. So if you was go to AI right now and to type in your name, your address, and your favorite color, for instance, AI then puts you a part of its data that has been trained. So if Susan over in England types in something, your information will pop up in her prompt, in her response from her prompt, because it's only reading the data that's been input into it. So you never put names, address, phone numbers, email address, nothing personal, because it's taking your data, adding it to what it already knows, and adding it into its brain. Now your information has become a part of what it knows, and it will start spitting it out as if it's data. Uh-huh. Now, so let's go back. You said you feel like it's listening. Why do you feel that? No, so okay, so right. Well, it says it's listen to your voice and you call its name. I know what you're talking about. It has happened. It has happened with me before, where you could just be sitting and you can be talking about something random to another person, and the phone starts talking. I know. I really know what you're talking about. So, but here's the thing that's going on with the phone. It's not really that it's listening to you. It's that it's a computer. So what it's doing is it's hearing your voice, and it's believing it's hearing it call its name, but it's not. It's not listening to you. It's not taking what you're saying and holding it like, and somebody is on the other end, you know, putting it. No, it's not. It's not doing that. No, 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 no. We get in trouble when we start putting personal information through our phone. That's where we get in trouble. Hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah. But there are now ways that you can make sure that whatever you're putting in, you have to look at the bottom. It has to be an encrypted site. Encrypted means nothing can break the firewall to get your privacy. So you have to make sure you're looking for those type of things when you're dealing with that. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, no. So her question was, what about your doctors and all of those things? They're putting your information in the computer. No, the system they're using is encrypted. It can't. It doesn't become a part of anything AI. It does not. It's encrypted information. Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. And what happened? That's called inbound marketing. That's another thing. So inbound marketing is what I used when I started with our church, how I got us out, how people found out about our church. Here's inbound marketing. You ever saw on Facebook, you're scrolling through, and you see this red Corvette? And you was like, that's a nice red Corvette. The next thing you know, everywhere you go, you see this red Corvette. That's because the algorithm has picked up that you noticed that red Corvette, and so everywhere you go, whether you go on Google or anything on your phone, it's now going to put it in your face because it's trying to get you to buy it. That's what I did for our church, inbound marketing. So whenever you typed in church online, our church popped up, and it followed you wherever you was online. And then it made you have to say, listen, I'm tired of seeing this. Let me click on it. And then I got you hooked, and you're in church now. See that? Come on, systems, reconciling systems. Yes.
We're training our computers, our phones are computers, and so when they ask you for permission for your microphone, even when you don't say, hey Siri, it's still listening, and because they use it for marketing. So that's what she meant by, like, she can be sitting talking with somebody about the fried chicken, and then there's all these ads for fried chicken popping up on your phone. So what he's saying is that, yes, you're right, there's not a person sitting listening, but the system, the algorithm is always listening because that's how it works. That's how, and so the concerns are that, are our phones a part of AI?
No. So our phones have AI capability, but it's not a part of it. It has the capability to do AI things, but it's not a part of it. The thing is, what I want you all to walk away with is that, one, your phone is not tapped, because none of us are on the president's watch, and we ain't done nothing wrong. So your phones are not tapped, but your phones have this capability where it's constantly listening. That's how Siri works. She listens through voice recognition. So the phone, not the system in the phone, will listen to your voice because it's trying to make sure that it doesn't hear its name. So that's why sometimes you may randomly be talking, it might pop up, you might hear it say something randomly, turn left or something, because what it did was it thought it heard you say something similar to Siri. It can't hear as clear as you would think it should be able to hear because it's picking up syllables. So anything with syllables that are close to Siri, it's gonna think that you're talking to it. Does that make sense? The phone itself is what's picking up your voice, not the system in the phone. The systems in the phone are connected to the cloud if you're an iPhone. If you're Android, I'm praying you get saved soon. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So her question was, is that the same with Alexa? Is the exact same thing with Alexa. Is the exact same thing. But again, here, Alexa is only giving you what she's already been given. Yes. You said what now? About what? She said it's a class action suit with Apple. So what that probably happened, it was a breach in the system that allowed the encryption to come down, which allowed it to do eavesdropping. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
When you read an article, let's say from Chrome, and the next hours later or the next day, you're going to get similar articles, or now is that a function of AI?
Yes, that's inbound marketing. Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, I'm concerned about this private information, that information we should not feed into AI.
Yes, ma'am.
Exactly where are you saying not to put it?
So I'm going to show you that in the second half, where not to put it. We're going to talk about prompts and where not to put it, all of that. But I will also say this to you, don't put it on computers neither. Like say that you're working on your computer and you may type sending an email. Unless your email is encrypted that nobody can break your email, which emails are not like that, I wouldn't send information across like that neither. All of that, none of that, anything personal. So you have to start kind of like encrypting things. Oh.
I'm just going to say something real quick. I know a lot of people want the personal information, but I just had some experience with this. I used to work in Maryland at the Baltimore, the city, and I worked for Maryland Transportation Agency. And there was something that happened about 20 years ago, the bomb. Hey, this is the bomb food, this is the bomb this. NSA, National Safety Administration, picked up on that. They're listening all the time. So there's no place in the United States where they don't listen and get your information. So it jammed the thing because, hey, this is the bomb church, this is the bomb car. And it just messed everything up. I know because I worked with somebody in my office, her husband worked with NSA. We had an individual had some visitors from Iran. They came to his house, they started speaking in different languages, but there were certain key words that are out there. And within 2 weeks, he had visitors at his house. So, I mean, don't be scared and afraid of the information that's out there, but it is true that they are listening at all times. They're not going to let people know that. Everybody's cell phone is tapped into a major. I know with NSA for factual, National Safety Administration taps into everybody's everything. It's just for national security. And obviously, the times we're doing right now, we want that, but not to really panic too much about your personal.
I'm about to put you out of our class. We're going to put him, you can't come back to the second session.
We've been told over and over again, watch what you do with your personal information. And then we have the doggy people. Those clowns. Even Big Balls got himself a government job.
Yeah.
So I feel as if our attempts to protect our personal information are futile when you have people like that invading the system.
Yeah. So, okay. So here's what I want y'all to walk away with. Like really, really hear my heart. If you remember how I started this with reconciling system and all of those things that we've been given the ministry of reconciliation, I want us to remember, one, whose we are, two, who protects us, and three, that we really are not concerned with the world's doing because we serve a God that is much bigger than that. So here's what I've had to learn. That, yeah, that all may be true, but God is bigger. And so I don't believe that he will put us in a place as Christians that he will have us out there to be mauled over, manipulated over, or taken down the wrong road. So I want us to walk away feeling, one, comfortable and at ease that God got you. We don't have control over what the world does or don't do, but what we do have control over is believing who has us. Yes. You said the VPN on your phone. Right. What VP? Okay, so let me explain VPN because she didn't pull some terms in here for y'all. VPN allows you to basically tell anybody who finds your number or your phone that you're not here. So, for instance, there's an app that I can download that'll change my IP address and make me like I'm in China, but I'm really in Greensboro still. That's what she's talking about. Yeah, so I do suggest VPN. That's a whole nother conversation for another day. I do suggest VPN because it blocks your IP address, and you can make yourself be in another state, another country, and nobody can get to your information. So I do suggest VPN, and that is actually the best way to protect things. And your question was what now? It is. It is. Yeah. Because it doesn't know who it's following. You've made up, VPN makes up this random IP address that's not a real person. Yeah. Whole nother discussion. But it's something good. No, it's different. No, see, see, that's why I didn't want to get so deep. Yeah, so I'll have to, VPN, yeah. Email me or give me a call. We'll talk VPN. All right. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Because that's a whole other discussion. So wait. So it's 7:31. I want to get y'all's dinner. So Elder Bernice is at the back of the door, and so she's gonna walk y'all to where y'all are supposed to get your dinner, and then we'll return back. I think it's 20 minutes. Is it? We'll return back in 20 minutes, and then we'll finish this thing out. All right? see some of you all are still eating. That's fine. You can continue eating. But I wanted to take this time to do this. All of the things that we are doing now, and all the things that the church is doing, we're able to do through your generosity. And it is your generosity that allows us to continue to do what God has called us to do as a church, which is to reconcile the world to God through Jesus Christ. So I wanted to take a moment to offer you the ability to continue to help us do that through your offering and partner with us. So if you would like to give, you can do the QR code, and we also have stewards in the back located. You're able to drop in money as well. They're going to we're now in the hands of the stewards. Yes, offering, yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. Amen. Thank y'all. You're going to be getting a paper stapled together. We're gonna talk about that. So just hold it once you get it. Yeah, y'all just coming. And like I said, y'all can just continue your eating. And we're gonna and if you there are trash cans in the back once you finish eating. They're right there back by the door. That's where you can put your trash at. But I'm gonna go ahead and get us started because we have to close at 8:30. So I'm gonna try to get in all that I can get in. So, Ms. Robin, if you would go to the works of AI. Yep. All right. So this is where it gets really, really fun. So we didn't got out the worries. I I wanted to get that out the way because I know those questions would come. And so now we're going to move into the works of AI. We've done the wonders, we've done the worries, and now we're in the works of AI. This is the fun part. If we have followed all of the first two, and we are doing things in safety, and we're realizing that our principles are not the world principles, but we follow Christian principles, biblical principles, while we're using AI. And so, there are, if you can go to the next slide, Ms. Robin. There are multiple AI platforms. I only put a few. Like, I really put a very small list. And the reason why there's so many platforms of AI is because different AIs do different things. I mentioned earlier about Grammarly. So Grammarly is really helping you with punctuation and words, sentence structure, all of those things. Midjourney. Midjourney is a website which allows you to create images. They haven't gotten to video yet. Midjourney is more high-level AI in that the type of promptings that you have to put in are very detailed, and it's using different type of terminologies in it. So I might tell Midjourney this. So you have to do / prompt, and then you write your prompt. So my prompt would be a black woman in high school class, 1980s, with a red shirt on, hair in a ponytail, hypersensitive, realistic, 8K, and then you put AR 16:9. That's the size of the image that you want to come back. And then you tell it what model or what level of AI, which I would probably say 5K or something like that. And then it reads that prompt and it creates that image. Yeah, I see you mind. So yeah, it's so literally. So if you are a creator and you're very creative, so I'm a graphic designer. So I use Midjourney because it allows me to create what's in my head. So if I see a C, I want to, for instance, I do the sermon graphics, what you all see on Sundays. I create those. So if Bishop sends me his sermon title and he has something in there about water walking, that was one of his sermons, and say that I wanted to have somebody actually walking on water, I would go to Midjourney and tell it what I wanted to do, what I see in my head, and it will create it. It will send me back 4 different images that I can choose from in the inside of my prompt. And then from those 4, I can tell it again to redo them until I get what I'm looking for. Or I can take one of the 4, choose it, and ask it to do just that one over, and I can tell it to upsize. So Midjourney is basically a graphic designer's wonderland. Like you can go in there and do whatever you want to do in there. You can create characters. I wish I would have had an image to show you what I've created in Midjourney, but I didn't put one up there. So that's Midjourney. Midjourney is more graphic driven. Yes. No, you're fine. It is. So I'm gonna talk about ChatGPT. No, you're good. So, but it's a good question, so I'm gonna go ahead and answer it. So ChatGPT allows you to do images as well, but Midjourney allows you to go higher. It's deep research, which is my next slide, Ms. Robin. So deep research is an AI, part of the AI system where it goes deeper than the surface. ChatGPT GPT is more surface. I can tell it, hey, can you make me a recipe to how to do sweet potato casserole? And so it'll give me the recipe. Yes, but it's still high level because I'm gonna show you some drawings that I did in Chat GPT. So it's very high level. Mid-Journey is like super deep because in Chat GPT I can't tell it to do realistic or hyper ultra 5K or 8K, 10K. It won't read it. It's too much for it. Yes, there you go. Yes. So that's deep research. So deep research allows me to be more specific in what I'm asking it to do. It can go in depth. And I'm getting ahead of myself, but I might as well go there because I think the next slide is, yeah, perfect. It allows me to tell it a prompt that's very, very detailed. If I am looking to say that I'm researching about astronauts from the 1950s up to 1984, I can do multiple things. One thing I could do is tell it to say, hey, can you give me a list of astronauts from the 1950s to 1984? That's very high level. It'll give me that list. But then I could say, can you give me this list of astronauts from 1950 to 1984 that were black? Then it will give me that. Then I can keep adding to the list. I can go as far as to tell me, can you give me a list of astronauts from the 1950s to 1984 who had a cancer diagnosis? A cancer diagnosis. It'll tell me that. That's deep research, meaning you can tell it to go as deep as you want it to go, down to the color of the eyes. I need all the astronauts that had blue eyes. It'll tell me that. No, that's deep research. Inside of AI is the ability to do deep research. Not every platform does deep research. There are only certain ones that do that. But that is the ability to do that. Now, again, I still always preference this, that you will still have to check. You have to fact check it still. If you went in and typed something biblical, tell me where Jesus did all of his miracles at, and compare them to each miracle, and which miracle dealt with where he was dealing with food. It'll give me that, but you still have to go back and check it against Scripture to make sure that it's not just giving you something that isn't made up. That's where hallucinations come in. Hallucinations are not just in pictures. It also can happen in verbiage, in words. So that's deep research. Prompts. Prompts are what you're telling it to do. You're giving it direction. It doesn't know what to do unless you tell it what to do. AI is not just out here creating on its own. It's actually, you've given it something to do. You have to give it a direction that you wanted to go into. You have a question?
Well, just a statement. So I do use Chat GPT a lot, and I find that it does, like you said, hallucinate a lot. So I was trying to come up with a logo for my business, and the photos that it gave me, some of them were in foreign languages. I was like, where did that come from? I didn't ask for that, but it gave it to me.
Yeah. So that's what. So to help you with, did you ever bake it? Did you get what you were looking for? Yeah. So did you? That means how many times did you change your prompt? Yeah. So you have to get very specific with the prompt because, again, it's a computer. It doesn't really know what you are saying unless you be very specific. I'm talking about down to the detail that I need you to make me a boat but I need the planks on the bloat to be 2 inches apart from each other, and I need the stir to be straight up and down, brown stain, and some cracks in it. You got to be very detailed with it because that's how it reads. And then you most likely will get back some images that's telling you this is what you gave me. And you can keep refining your prompt until you get exactly what you want. The prompt is the main thing in the whole system of it. Now again, I'm talking deep research. Chat GPT is more just everyday use. Most of us will use that. If you've ever, how many of you have used it? Let me see that. Perfect. So what I'm going to show you tonight is how I have used it way beyond what its capacity is. I'm going to show you tonight. So that's promptings, writing promptings. You can go to the elements of promptings, Ms. Robin. It's not the next slide, it's the slide after next. Yes. So what I was saying, when you're writing, be specific and clear. Use precise language, choose the words that have clear meaning to it, specify the format. If you need a list, table, and specify structure, say so. It can make charts. You can tell it, I need an X and a Y chart to say blah, blah, this and that. It can do all of that. Provide context and background, set the scene. If your question is related to a specific situation, describe it in detail. Include relevant information, include any relevant facts or data if you're asking about a particular topic. Specify the intended audience if the response is for a particular audience. This one right here, on ChatGPT, I don't know if you all have ever done this. So going back to the brainstorming and helping with ideas, there have been times where I've used it and I went in and said this prompt: act as a content creator and create me 16 quotes that deal with anxiety, and it'll send me back those 16 quotes. Because now you done told it what to be a content creator, so it's going to create as if it's creating for social media because you gave it now a job. So if you're in the marketplace and you want to use this and you say, hey, become an analyst strategist for me and compare our numbers from 1998 to 2025 of our sales. You've told it what to do. Now it's going to do that for you, and now it'll create a chart for you, and you'll have all your information. You have to give it something to do. That's the prompt. You have to make sure that you're telling it what you want it to do. And so guide AI's reasoning. Use step-by-step instructions. Break down complex tasks into smaller, manageable steps. That's what you were dealing with on there. When you was giving it information, it was too big for it, so it needed you to break it down. So what it did, it said, I'm just going to pull what I think she said, and so I'm going to give her some Chinese writing. Yeah. So you have to break it down into you have to treat it like you're teaching a child to talk. Yes?
That's a good way to put it. Also, it's kind of like a recipe. I can tell you, I need some sugar. Well, it wants to know how much.
Yes.
And
And what grain?
what, yeah.
Is it brown or is it white?
Or is it powdered?
Is it unsweetened? Is it real sugar? It needs to know all that. Like you have to get that in deep with it. And then there is iteration and refinement. That's whenever it sends you something back that you keep refining. You keep getting it to the place where you want it to, what you were looking for. Yes.
Can you copyright or trademark something that you created through ChatGPT or AI in general?
Great question. No, you cannot. His question was, can you copyright or trademark something made through ChatGPT or through AI? You cannot. Remember at the beginning I said it's just a framework. It's just something that helps you to get to where you're going. Now, with her logo, what she can do is she can take what it gave her and she can probably change the color, manipulate some things on it, and then it becomes her because now she used it as a framework and she added her taste or spin to it. That's how that works.
Thank you. I used it for grant research, and I had to keep refining it specific to the trade in which I was looking for a grant for. I had to keep giving it due dates, things like that that I needed to know that were simple applications. And it updated and gave me also the application and just the steps that I needed. It also give you templates.
Yes.
It's really good.
Yes. So if you use it right, it literally becomes your assistant. It will help you in whatever you needed to do. But you just got to know whatever information it spits back to you. One, let me fact check it. And then two, I can't say it's my own. It's just a framework. Yes. Mhm. Yes. So you said plagiarism. So there is a way, there is now a tool that you can scan any document and it'll tell you the percentage of AI used on it. That's, so you can't just cheat the system. Remember, AI can check its own self. Yeah. So if you're turning in papers, if you're still in school and you use AI and you turn that thing in, you best believe that professor is scanning that thing. And if it comes back 96.3% F, yeah. So it's real. So always remember, it's just a framework. All right? Yeah, so that's a good question. You can cite it just like you would cite anything else if you're writing a paper, if you're doing footnotes, or you would cite it. But most of the time, what we do in school, or I currently still do now, is if I'm using AI, if I ask it a question, most of the time, whatever they get back to me, I will read it and probably rephrase it in my own words, and then I still cite it, just because Duke don't play that. So you can always still cite it. You cite it as if it's a regular book, and usually professors will go on with it. Yes. Yes. Next slide, Ms. Robin. So the next slide is Chat GPT. Yeah. So this is what everybody been talking about. When you all raise hand, most of you all raise it, so you are somewhat familiar with it. So let me explain this. So Chat GPT is it's free. It'll do certain things for you for free, but if you buy it, it'll do more. For instance, I bought it, so I paid my little monthly thing, and it does things for me. Because if you use the free, say if you wanted to create some images, it'll only give you a limit on the images you can create, or so much that you can access, because it's free, you're not paying. So it's a chat box developed by OpenAI that uses machine learning to generate human-like text and engage in conversation. It can answer questions, write different kinds of content, and even assist with coding tasks. Essentially, it's a tool that allows users to interact with AI in a way that mimics natural language communication. But you talk to it like you are talking to a person, but be very detailed, or it's going to feel like you are getting back answers that are from a toddler. So you have to be specific. You really have to be specific in Chat GPT. Next slide. So this is what it looks like. This is, when you go to it, it looks just like this. I know that's very small, but it has this little space here. You type in there whatever the prompt that you needed, that you're trying to ask it to do. Over in the corner, there are different models. Remember how I talked about the deep research, how that's a different model, and then there's high level, blah, blah. These are the different models you can do on Chat GPT. And each model deals with a specific area. So GPT-40 is great for most tasks. So that's if you just answering any questions you wanted to ask it, down to what's the best supplement to lower my cholesterol. That's the one you use. And then there's the O3, which is advanced reasoning. That's most likely the one you probably used when you was doing your research. And then there's the mini, which is simpler, faster, with advanced reasoning. So it finds your information faster, which if you use that one, be sure to check whatever it sends back, because again, it's doing it faster. So it's gonna just grab information as quick as it can. And then there's the mini high, which is great for coding and visual reasoning. Coding is dealing with creating websites, all of that stuff, computer talk. It'll help you distinguish which coding I need to do if I'm trying to put a slide on my website. It'll help you with that. That's that part. So most of the time, us as normal people will use the first model. It automatically is defaulted to that model, so unless you go change it. So that's how this looks. And once you type in your prompt, it'll then drop your prompt down at the bottom, and then it'll say it's working, getting started, and then it'll send back, here's what we did, and it'll read out your prompt again, and then it'll give you the results. And it comes really, really fast. So it's free, but you don't get all the good stuff with the free. Yeah. Yes. Did you type? Yeah. You're so silly.
But you still can't find it though, huh?
I'll show you. It's in there. Yeah. Okay. So next slide. So see, this is what I created in AI. So I told her what I needed to look for, and I made myself, my children, and then our name. I said, I need you to make this for me. So the prompting that I gave it, I'll tell you the prompting. The prompting that I told it was, turn the uploaded image into a Pixar-style cartoon character. Keep the facial features, hairstyle, skin tone, expression, clothing, and overall likeness exactly the same so the person is clearly recognizable. Render it in bright, polished 3D animation style typical of Pixar movies with soft lighting. The eyes should be the same as the ones in this photo. Smooth skin, textures, and a friendly cinematic room setting. Don't change the scene in my room completely. You tell her. Yes, I uploaded some data. Not only did I give it a prompt, but I also uploaded some data too. My data was a picture. And it took the data I uploaded with the prompt that I told it, and it created this for me. Yes. You remember, that's how it only works. So that's how I created that. Yeah. Oh, you just wait, ma'am. No, because they would have to have my picture. and I only uploaded it on my thing. I didn't give it any type of personal information besides my picture, and if I use social media, you already got my picture anyway. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one of the worries of I can take a picture of you now, and I can put you in a boat and make you seem like you in another country, and then send it to somebody. Yeah. Hmm. And also with that, I can take your voice. Now what they're doing now, this is scamming, is they can pick up a phone call. They'll pick up the number, and they'll call your say you have a child. Your child calls your phone from their phone number, and your child's voice is on the other end saying, hey, I need help. Can you send me some money? I'm here. And it sounds just like your child. You have to listen to the voice, and you'll know things that your child would and wouldn't say. You have to listen to the voice. And if you get a call like that, you know, one, is my child going to be calling me, asking me for money? Yeah, it's just playing it back. Yes.
I do a lot in this security, and I know that scam that was coming back really about a year ago was people would call again. They would have the voice of your child, and they'll call you and say, hey, I got kidnapped. Don't call the police. Send this money, which is what we always told kids, to have a code word, password, something you say that you'll be able to recognize your child.
Yep. Yep. So yeah. So that's that. Yeah. No, you're fine.
So I saw that when it came out on the news that they had someone who was like a family member. They had the face and everything, and the news person said, "How would they know the difference?" They said there's a little glitch, and they were like, but they said that's kind of like your how you would know. But we could just think it's just they might just think it's just a glitch or
no, you can.
I'm just saying they were doing it to elderly people.
Right. So also it's a glitch, but also look at the way that they're talking. It's robotic. Their mouth moves as a robot. You can tell the difference. It's not in sync at all. So you'll hear the tone before you see it in their mouth. It's a latency in their voice. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. So they have AI news reporters and all that now. Yeah, it's all out. Yes. So, Miss Robin, because the time. Miss Robin, can you go to the next slide really fast? So this is one of the goals. This is what I want you to walk out with today. I want you to walk out with this, that AI is not to replace, but to help with efficiency. That's what I want you to walk away with today. If you walk away with anything else, walk away that it's not to replace, it's to help with efficiency. It's just a framework. It doesn't stop you from doing the work. It's a framework. Okay, so before we leave, I wanted to show y'all this. Miss Robin, can you go to the very last thing?
Wondering, who's this guy? Yeah, it's me, Marino. I just wanted to say hi. Yeah, that's my wife, Crystal. As you can see, she loves to talk. I have an amazing family. I have twins. Yeah, one is named Noel. That's Noel. And there's Lennox. Hey, we call him Deacon sometimes. There's something about just having family, and I love every moment of it. So, hey, come and join me. Come and see what we're doing in our household.
You see? So yeah, so So I mixed AI, and then I told AI to put a voice to my still images, but that was my actual voice. I went and did voice recording and all of that, and that were our children and my wife. And then I went and did some stuff in post editing. That's a whole nother class. Post editing and make all that to make it all work. Efficiency. So now I've created this little series that an episode come out every Friday if you want to follow me on social media. Yes. So yeah. So it's 8:29. I could probably take one question. Any other questions? And then so yeah, I've heard.
Was that made in Mid-Journey?
No, I actually made it on ChatGPT. I did a picture in there. I took it and then put it into CapCut, which is my post-editing thing, and it have the setting in there called AI dialogue, and it put my voice and made movement to it, and then I took that and put it into CapCut again and put music up under it. I put vocals. No, it's not free. Yeah. So yeah. But listen, hey, I really enjoyed y'all today. But if you got any questions, y'all know where to find me. Like you can send me an email or give me a call. Just call to the church, ask to speak to Pastor Brisbane, and we can go from there. I hope I blessed y'all today. Yeah. Oh, really, really fast. I'm sorry. The paper. I never explained the paper. The paper, I